everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's been a fantastic year for the Vikings so far, who come into this game with a perfect record. The only question now is just how deep into the season they can carry this undefeated streak. It's the Vikings going up against the Jets. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6". Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Let's go! On play action, they'll throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spent.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
That's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Here we go now. Good. And now here's a carry heading left. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Jets are going to get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. New York set to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Let's go! 319! 319!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Second down following the run. Now they'll run on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. And this will be taken at the 13. Spinning away. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be...
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And this is good as they extend it out now to a 9-0 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard, right at the line of scrimmage. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 77 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Back to throw here. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw here. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jets have made this a one-score game. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Now the try here for the point after. And they're back within a couple at 9-7 now. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And that makes it a 9-point game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
Let's go! Green 39! Green!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And they give this time to the tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
But so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Back to throw. Caught outright by Patton. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right?
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to make it 4th down. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't, and this one looks like you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. They find some open field here. And now the juke. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that will make this a 16-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Right at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This fielded at the 2. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And from down in Miami, an update, and it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
Here we go now. Clean up for set.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now they'll run it on the toss. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense. They'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Jets have got it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Jets on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Here's the Jets punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now they'll run it on the taunts. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Here we go. Green, 39. Gone. Action now, Barney.
Now they try the right side here. He's got the first down and more past the 40. The 40. Past the 20. 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. When they dialed up that fourth down run, something tells me they didn't envision it hitting all the way up in the end zone.
No, I think you're right about that. But how many times do we witness short yardage runs, stacked defensive front, everyone pressing the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, there's not much help on the backside there.
If you pop through, there's no one back there, and we just witnessed it there. A long sprint to the end zone. Probably looking around wondering, where did everyone go?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The gun. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Lucas. And down he'll go at the 25. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He'll look to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now they'll run it on the toss, finding room at the 30. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 81 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point forthcoming. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. The offenses have success. You could say they've run wild a little bit. Time for the defenses to get into the act, and one does here.
Nothing like a little bit of revenge for the defense. They've had to deal with it all game long. Both offenses going up and down the field. How about it when they take the ball away and take it to the other end zone?
A try here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And New York set to take the field. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2. Now third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll set up a throw. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Hey, watch 85. Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And now out comes Minnesota. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they got it here, 1st and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And with that carry, he has done it. He breaks the single-game rushing record.
How about doing it in the spotlight of our game? How wonderful is that to see all those yards accumulated, culminating in a brand new NFL record?
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
That one goes for 24 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Lucas. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters get to you.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And, oh, my, mistake there. Backs up, takes a fair catch at the 3-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to come.
And he's into the clear. The 30, 20, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today? Does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy rooms.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Extra point attempt here still to come. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the fourth quarter now. And it's the Giants that wound up winning that one. If they hold on to victory there, would be their third of the year. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Jets on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 17. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's the Jets punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down.
And he loses the football a second time. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gordon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
They're going to look to throw. This is caught. And he's brought down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. They said their goal was to win 7 games. They've done that pretty early in the year.
I think it's time for them to elevate that number and really make a big push to finish this season strong.